Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to US University Key Ielts. Today we are going to look at a question that's always present in the Ielts exam, in the reading section of the Ielts exam. And this question is true, false, not given. I know I have another video about this question. You can go back and check it. But the video I'm presenting today is going to be in English only. So hopefully a lot of you are going to benefit from this video and you are going to learn how to deal with this type of question and answer this question in a very short period of time without wasting too much time reading. And before we look at the question today, I want to stress one thing that's very important for all the students who are going to take the IELTS exam. When you hear the word reading, it does not literally mean reading. So do not read the passage until you have an idea about the questions you are dealing with. So before you look at the passage, look at the questions and see how you can deal with this passage. Some questions require reading, and many of the questions in the IELTS exam do not require reading. And I have another video about the types of questions you are going to see in the IELTS exam and ways of how to deal with them. I want you to watch that video and take notes. And today, again, we are going to deal with true, false, not given. And these questions don't require reading. All you have to do is find the keywords and find the paragraph in which the keyword is, and read about 2 to 4 sentences, and you are going to find the answer. You don't need to read the whole paragraph, and you don't need to read the whole passage. If you try answering questions by reading the passage first, I assure you that you are going to waste your time and you are not going to answer all the questions in time. So please watch the video until the end, and don't forget, of course, to comment, share, like, and more importantly, please don't forget to subscribe. This is the only way I know that I'm helping you. If I am not encouraged by this, then I will stop producing more videos. So let's look at today's question in IELTS reading. True, false, not given. Okay, so this is the reading we are going to look at today, and this is taken from the official Cambridge Guide to IELTS, page 235. The title of the reading is Whale Stranding, and we are going to look at the passage first, so you can pause the screen or take screenshots if you want to try to do this on your own before you look at the way we are dealing with these questions today. And these are the questions. True, false, not given. There are 5 questions. So before we try to answer these questions, I want to explain first what these questions mean. So true means that the statement agrees with the information. And you have to remember that the information has to be 100% in agreement. You cannot find half of the information and choose true, or find half of it and choose false. So if you don't find 100% match between the information in this question and the information in the passage, don't choose true. In that case, the answer is not given if there's only half of the information. But if the information is matching 100%, then the answer is true. False means simply that the information contradicts the information in the passage, which means it's the opposite of what is mentioned in the passage. And if there is no information or the information is missing parts of it, then choose not given. There is also something very important that you have to remember. You have to understand these statements 100% before you try looking for the answers. So try to paraphrase the sentence and remember the information before you go to the passage and try to find the information. Because a lot of students waste too much time going back and forth between the passage and the questions because they don't remember what they are looking for. So try to remember the information and go back to the passage and try to match the information. If it matches, it's true. If it contradicts, it's false. If there is no information or the information is missing, then it's not given. These questions do not require reading. Reading is not required for these types of questions. A lot of students, they start by reading the passage and then going back to the questions and try to answer. It's impossible to remember everything in the passage. So it's very important that you look at the questions first and go back to the passage and try to answer. So let's look at the first question. So we read the question, we highlight or underline the keywords and go back to the passage and find those keywords. And when we find the keyword in the passage, that's when we start reading. And we are not going to read the whole paragraph in which the keyword is. We're only going to read between 1 to 3 or 4 sentences. That's where the answer is going to be. If you read more than 4 sentences, you are not going to find additional information and you are probably just wasting your time reading. So the answer in that case, if you don't find the answer within the 4 sentences, your answer is not given. So let's look at the first question. The aim of the research by the Pelagos Institute in 1998 was to prove that Navy sonar was responsible for whale strandings. So here we have very clear keywords that can help us easily find the answer in the passage. The first one is the Pelagos Institute, and of course the year 1998. Now, we need to understand the sentence, and for that we need to pay attention to verbs, because verbs carry the meaning in most of the sentences, and also the noun. So here what's the first important information is aim. The aim. What's aim? Aim means the purpose. The purpose of this research was what? Was to prove that Navy sonar was responsible for whale strandings. So here we have to find the keyword and find that the purpose of this research that was done in 1998 is to prove that Navy sonar was responsible for whale strandings. So let's go back to the passage. So again, like I said, we are not going to read, we are going to scan very quickly, looking for 1998, which is a number that's easily recognizable within the text. And here we have the keyword. 1998 researchers at the Pelagos Research Institute, a Greek non-profit scientific group, linked whale strandings with low-frequency sonar tests being carried out by the Northern Atlantic Treaty Organization. In the question we have the Navy, and here we have the NATO. The most important word in the question was the aim. But in the question, there is nothing that says the aim. It only says that this research or this institute conducted the research in 1998, and in that research they linked whale stranding with low frequency sonar tests being carried out by the NATO. We don't know what the aim for that study was, and that's why I always stress that these types of questions in the IELTS reading, the true, false, not given, are very precise, and you have to really understand everything in the statement 100%. If you misunderstand something or you don't understand it 100%, you are going to choose the wrong answer. So the vocabulary is very important. So the answer to this question number 22 is not given. So I'm only going to write abbreviations here, but in the exam, try to write not given as you see it here. Don't write NG or T for true and F for false. In the answer sheet, write not given. So the aim of the research is not mentioned in the statement in the text, so the answer is not given. Now let's move on to question number 23. The whales stranded in Greece were found at different points along the coast. Again, we have to find the keyword, and most of the time keywords are nouns, and the keyword in this question is Greece. It's very easy to find. Now, after the keyword, we need to understand the statement 100%. So the whales stranded in Greece were found at different points along the coast. This is the information we need to find. They were found at different points along the coast. And this is happening, and this was or happened in Greece. So we're going back to the passage, and we are going to scan very quickly. We're not reading, looking for the word Greece. And here is the word Greece. So we start reading from the beginning of the sentence. So typically, they, and this means the whales, all wash ashore together, but in mass, atypical strandings, such as the one in Greece. The whales don't strand as a group. They are scattered over a large area. So which means that these whales did not strand in a group, together in one group, but they were scattered along over a large area, which means the same thing as found at different points along the coast. Scattered over a large area means the same thing as found at different points along the coast. So this question is very clearly true. Now let's move to question number 24. Rosemary Gales has questioned the research techniques used by the Greek scientists. The keyword here is Rosemary Gales. So try, if you have a name of a person or a city or a country or a date, like in question number 22, 1998, try to look for those keywords because they are easily recognizable and easy to find in a long passage. So this is the name we are going to look for. And the most important information is this. She has questioned the research techniques used by the Greek scientists. So the verb here has questioned carries the most important information in this statement. So we're going back to the passage and we are going to scan very quickly looking for the word or the name of this researcher, Rosemary Gales. We are not going to read, we are only going to scan very quickly. Here we have the name, Rosemary Gales. and we're going to read the sentence in which the keyword is. Sometimes you can start reading from this sentence and you are going to find the answer. If you don't find the answer in the sentence in which the keyword is, try to read the sentence before that. If you don't read the sentence before, the sentence in which the keyword is, and the sentence after. Sometimes you can add one more sentence, but if you don't find your answer within these 4 sentences, don't waste your time. The answer is not given. So we are going to read the sentence before. Whale experts Karen Evans is one such scientist. This is not related to Rosemary Gales. Another is Rosemary Gales, a leading expert on whale strandings. She says sonar technology cannot always be blamed for mass strandings. It's a case-by-case situation. Whales have been stranding for a very long time pre-sonar. So here we don't have anything that talks about the Greek scientists that Rosemary is, whose techniques Rosemary Gales is questioning. There is nothing talking about those. The only thing that this scientist is talking about in this part of the passage is that whale strandings cannot be blamed on sonar because strandings happened before, even before sonar technology. So we are not going to read any more. The answer here is very clear. It's not given. So the answer for number 24 is not given. Question number 25. According to Gales, whales are likely to try to help another whale in trouble. The keyword here is again Gales, the same keyword we just found. So the answer should be very close to the one we just read for question number 24. And what's the most important piece of information in this statement is that whales are likely to try to help each other. Very simple. Let's go back to the passage and see. So here we have Rosemary Gales. We have Gales here. Gales and her team must continue in the search for answers. And we also have the keyword Gales in this sentence. So we are going to read the next paragraph. When animals beach, so beach here is used as a verb, which means stranding. When animals beach next to each other at the same time, the most common cause has nothing to do with humans at all. They're highly social creatures, says Gales. When they mass strand, it's complete panic and chaos. If one of the group strands and sounds the alarm, others will try to swim to its aid and become stuck themselves. So the answer is all in this sentence. If one of the groups strands and sounds the alarm, others will try to swim to its aid and become stuck themselves. So here we have the word aid means the same thing as help in the question. According to Gales, whales are likely to try to help. So they are going to help or aid each other. So the answer here is very clear. True. And we don't need to read anymore. Now, let's look at the last question in this section. There is now agreement amongst scientists that changes in the Earth's magnetic fields contribute to whale strandings. The keyword in this sentence is scientists, and the most important keyword is Earth's magnetic fields. Earth starts with capital E, and that's easy to find in the passage. And what's the most important piece of information again in this statement is that there is agreement. And this is the information we need to match with the passage. There is agreement amongst scientists. All scientists agree that changes in the Earth's magnetic fields contribute to Weyl strandings. Let's scan the passage for the keyword Earth's magnetic fields. And this is the keyword, Earth's magnetic field. So we're going to read from the beginning of the sentence. In 2005, a survey by Klaus Vanslo and Klaus Rickliffs of sperm whale strandings in the North Sea even found a correlation between these and the sunspot cycle and suggested that changes in the Earth's magnetic field might be involved. We see from this part of the passage that Earth's magnetic field is responsible for stranding. But what about the agreement between the scientists? So we have this scientist, this is another scientist, and here we have the word but. This is a very important word that you need to pay attention to when you are doing reading in Ielts. But others are skeptical. And this is all we need. We don't have to read anymore. So here these two scientists agree that Earth's magnetic field is responsible for stranding. But in the next sentence we have this that says, but others are skeptical. What does skeptical mean? Skeptical means that they don't agree with the statement mentioned before. So there is not an agreement amongst scientists, and the answer is false for the last question. So as you can see, the first question is not given, the second true, third not given, fourth true, and the last one is false. And I'm going to share with you a very important trick that you can use when doing these questions. For the true, false, not given in Ielts, there must be at least one of each. There must be one question that's true, another one that's false, another one that's not given. If you take the exam and you have questions like this, you don't need to read to find the answer for the last question. You can simply choose false and you are 100% correct. But again, you have to be 100% sure that your answers are correct, number 21 to 25. Because if they're not correct, maybe you're just guessing. So the last question you can simply guess because we did not choose false in the first 4. Another suggestion that I can give you for dealing with these questions is, if suppose that these questions are the last set of questions you have in a test, and you don't have time to read and answer them using these techniques that I just shared with you in this video. So if you have to guess, make sure you guess the same answer for all the questions. For example, you can put not given for every single one of these questions. Just like that, like not given, not given, not given, not given, not given. Why is that? If you do that, you are going to at least score 2 points for these questions because number 1 in this set is not given and number 3 is not given. If you choose true for all the answers, then you are going to score 2 points for these because number 23 and 25 are true. If you guess false for all of them, you're only getting one of these correct, which is the last one. So if you have to guess, and again, I'm not suggesting that you should guess, only guess if you run out of time. If you have no time left to deal with these questions in an attentive manner, then you should guess. You should always guess and don't leave anything blank in the Ielts exam. But you have to use, you have to guess in a smart way, not just guessing randomly, picking questions and guessing true and then false and then not given in a sequence. You should always guess the same answer for all questions, and I guarantee you, you will get at least one of them correct. And if we go back to the passage, we did not read anything here. We only read 2 sentences here and here to find the answers. We did not have to read anything here. And we only read this part and nothing here. And read this part to find another answer. And we skipped this whole paragraph. And this one. And this. And the last section of the passage. So we barely read maybe 10 sentences altogether in this whole passage, and we found all the answers that we need. We probably don't even have an idea about the passage and what the passage is all about. So remember that reading is not required for all types of questions. You should only read when you find the keyword for these types of questions: true, false, not given.